Right, good afternoon, everyone, to the meeting of the Cabinet, Wednesday, 9th of June, 4 p.m. And welcome to the Cabinet meeting of Melton Borough Council. Members are reminded that we will be using a new audio-visual system this afternoon, and the meeting will also be streamed live on YouTube. There is a quick reference card placed on the desk in front of you, which provides instruction on how to use the basic speaking function of the microphone. Members are asked to physically raise their hands in the usual way to indicate they wish to speak and to use their microphones when speaking for the benefit of all present. The microphone is live when the red light displays. Please switch your mobile phones to silent, or even better still, switch them off. Members may remove their face mask covering while seated. Should you need to leave the room during the meeting, unless it's an emergency evacuation when emergency exit should be used, please use the marked exit and entrance. I will now provide a reminder of the evacuation procedure. In the event of having to evacuate the council chamber, please leave by one of the 6 emergency exits around the side of the chamber. Please assemble at the far side of the front car park nearest to the park entrance. Officers will be on hand to assist persons who require any assistance. Public recording of the meeting. There is legislation that allows the public to film, record, or use social media at a council meeting. This must not be disruptive to the good order of the meeting, nor include any filming or recording of the public seating area. So we move on to the agenda. Apologies for absence. I don't believe there are any. Minutes. To confirm the minutes of the Cabinet meeting held on the 17th of March 2021. I move that confirmation. Look to the Deputy Leader to second, seconded by Councillor Higgins. Members, I ask you to raise your hands. Those of you who are there, i.e. Councillor de Burgh and Councillor Freer-Jones, to raise their hands. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Chair, I've just got a quick update on one of the minute items.
Okay, be quick, please.
Yeah, just on the Economic Recovery Support Programme, because this paper on page 3164, it was deferred because the government had changed the guidance. But I'd just like to place on record my thanks to those who are on the grant panel, which is also the officer Dawn Garton. But we will have used all the grants by the end of today for those businesses, and there are still some applications still coming in, and they will receive funding as well. So I think that is good news, because that puts Melton Borough Council in firm place to receive the next chunk of government money, because we have met their criteria.
Thank you very much. Declarations of interest, members. I look round. No, I just have my one, if it could be a rolling item, please, to Democratic Services. I'm a member of Leicestershire County Council today, so I declare a personal interest in any matter relating to that authority. Item 4, minutes referred from Scrutiny Committee. I don't believe there are any at this time. Look around. No. So we move on to what I always call the meat of the agenda, the housing revenue account, HRA, stock condition and survey update, item 5. And I invite the Assistant Director for Housing Management to summarise the report, please. So over to you, Craig. I think this is the first time I've actually seen you in the flesh. So there you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, so I think you've all got a copy of the paper in front of you. So if I just do a very brief overview of that. It is in 2 parts. So I'd like to run through the elements with regards to the stock condition survey first, and then come back to the property improvement contract procurement, if at all possible. So basically the HRA stock condition survey update is just to provide Cabinet with an update on our current position. We have today released the contracts for signature with Michael Dyson. So that is with regards to undertaking stock condition surveys to provide us with data moving forwards to inform our capital programme. The recommendations for the Cabinet are to note the contents of the report. The key and one of the main reasons for requiring stock condition data is obviously to understand our stock. It will provide us with the foundations to build our capital programme moving forward, and will also form a very firm foundation for our capital programme and our HRA business plan. The council as a landlord has 1,800 properties. In 2019, the council approved the housing improvement plan. Good progress has been made, but a significant amount of work remains before the council meets its corporate goal of ensuring a high quality landlord function. I suppose realistically, that's about everything from there. All I would state is that the contract is a 4-year contract, and we are looking at doing 1,400 of our properties in the first year. So that kind of represents a massive chunk of our stock, upwards of about 65–70% of our stock in the first year. We also, within that contract, will be undertaking structural surveys on balconies and walkways to ensure that they're safe. And also the garage condition surveys will also be completed. Within main considerations, you will see that there is a draft contract schedule outlining the commitments within the first 4 years of that contract. So realistically, that was the update with regards to stock condition surveys. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you very much, Craig. I now hand over to Councillor Ronan Brown, who's portfolio holder for Council Homes Landlord Services, to move the recommendation, please, and provide any other information necessary.
Thank you, Chair. No, I'm just happy to move the recommendation and just say that it's really good to see the progress that has been made and the fact that we're going to be getting to grips with the condition of our stock. And also like to thank Craig for his briefing on all the hard work that's been done to date in a very short space of time since I've been appointed to Cabinet. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Brown. I'm very happy to second Councillor Brown's recommendation to the recommendation of 2122. And that's it. I just looking here at 3.1, reasons for recommendation: having current stock conditions data is key to delivery as a council's corporate strategy. It says it all, really, doesn't it? It's absolutely massive. This is a really good, strong paper, Craig. It's good, and congratulations to yourself for putting it together, because this is the first paper to Cabinet, I believe, you've done.
It is indeed. Thank you very much. So would you like us to move on to the property improvement contract? Okay, so the second aspect of the paper is in relation to a property improvement contract procurement. So as a result of the stock condition data, there will obviously be emerging needs for us to have contractors in place to deliver and improve our decency standards within our stock. So this paper seeks approval to award contracts on a rolling basis from a dynamic purchasing system via Westworks to enable the council to deliver an efficient and effective capital programme of work. A lot of work has been undertaken in the background with regards to this. So we have an awareness from the properties that are coming through our Void programme that there will be need for some extensive capital programmes of work. Last year saw us spend significantly on our capital programme, which I believe was the first time for a significant amount of time. And considering the impact of COVID, I think that's a fantastic achievement. The DPS is an electronic system which suppliers can join at any time, and this is designed to give the council access to a pool of pre-qualified suppliers. The proposed DPS ensures future contracts are compliant with procurement guidelines together with positively delivering against our corporate strategies and priorities 1 and 2. The DPS shall provide us with a robust vehicle to deliver on a variety of capital programme schemes. So this isn't to be confused with kind of our current repairs contracts and access contract. This is more around our kitchen and bathroom refurbishments, any roofing works or any structural works that are required on our properties, and any other significant capital programme requirements as a result of the stock condition data. The background to this is that following discussion at the Housing Improvement Board, it was awareness was raised to the need for kind of more robust capital contracts and frameworks to be able to pull down from. And the current practice is that we're going out and we're seeking ad hoc quotations for work, which is both time consuming and probably doesn't represent best value for the authority. So the use of DPS will enable us to pull down in quick time and be very reactive to the needs of our stock. And a number of contractors have been engaged locally to ensure that they are available on this framework and on this DPS for us to draw down on, because that was one of the recommendations coming from the councils on the Housing Improvement Board. So we've done a lot of work in the background. We've done a lot of external consultation with suppliers to make sure that they're bought into that DPS, and that will hopefully enable us to assign some of that contract to local contractors. Obviously, local is a fairly loose term with regards to contractors, because obviously some of these contractors are covering kind of the whole of the East and West Midlands and kind of that middle sector of the UK. But that was one of our goals, was to ensure that that was encompassed. And also, I think one of the really strong things behind this too is also including the likes of TFEC and our tenants and our members with regards to the choice that our tenants will have with regards to kind of kitchen and bathroom choices and design choices. It's very, very powerful for us to be able to kind of give that level of choice when we're refurbing a kitchen, when the tenant's in situ. It promotes a higher level of ownership, and obviously then empowers that person to feel better about the property and hopefully look after it and reduce our ongoing costs. I think that's pretty much it, realistically. It's just around kind of seeking approval for you to allow us to access that dynamic purchasing system to then draw down on several capital contracts. The annual value of those at present, we have around £750,000 per annum within our capital budgets. That may well need to be looked at when we look at our HRA business planning, but that's what the kind of ask will be at present. For the next 2 years at least, we've got £750,000 earmarked for capital works across our stock. So yeah, that's the background. So if there's any questions, or over to Councillor Brown.
Yeah, thank you. I look to Councillor Brown if you've got anything to say on this, because you've got recommendation 2.2.
Just no, just to say again, welcome this, and welcome the ability to be able to be proactively sourcing contractors to actually improve our homes. The other key thing to note, Leader, is that you will have noted that we've had some criticism, especially from our opposition, around the fact of not using local contractors, both in Leicestershire and the East Midlands. And I think this answers that. It actually shows that we've been listening, and certainly yourself through the Housing Improvement Plan and the Chief Executive. Actually, we've answered both the criticism of both our opposition in this council, and also some minor criticism also from our tenants, saying that we should be looking more local to put money back into the local economy. So thank you.
I'm second for the second time too. But by the way, I just love the name Dynamic Purchasing System. I think it just shows the era of moving in. Here we are, obviously beaming out from the council chamber on to YouTube, and now we've got the Dynamic Purchasing System. But it says it all in the paper, so very, very pleased to confirm recommendations 2.2. I look to other members. Have they got any other questions or anything? I just wish I indication. So I ask you all to raise your hands if you want to confirm the recommendations at 2.1.2.2. So that's Malise, Ronnie, Lee, Alison, Ronan. I look to Democratic Conservatives staff to confirm that. Thank you very much. So we move on. Thank you very much, Craig. We move on to item 9, write-off irrecoverable debt. The Cabinet will consider whether detailed debate requiring disclosure of the exempt information in relation to the specified item of business is required before making this resolution. The debate will be held in open session unless a member wishes to raise a specific query or discuss exempt appendices 1, 2, 3, or 4 of the following report. Therefore, a resolution to exclude the public and press will only be required should this occur. So, Aisha, members, at this very early stage, do you believe you'll have any questions? If there's anything that pops up later on, obviously we can sort, but at this early stage, nothing. Okay, I hand over to Aisha, the Interim Assistant Director for Communities, to summarise the report.
Thank you. Thank you, Leader. The write-off of irrecoverable debts report, it's submitted quarterly as financial good practice. It requests Cabinet approval for the write-off of irrecoverable debts. The corporate debt policy is the policy framework that's been applied, and I can confirm that it has been applied. The intention and the aim of the debt policy is to maximise income to serve and secure the council's financial future. We've balanced this with recognising that there are some circumstances where recovery action is unlikely to succeed, and therefore write-offs may be appropriate. The debts are specified in the exempt appendices 1 to 4, but details of the totals are given at the table in section 5.3 of the report. As I say, we can confirm the policy has been followed in the cases presented, and recovery actions have been exhausted in these cases. So in summary, the recommendation is for Cabinet to note the actions taken and to approve the write-off of the debts shown in appendices 1 to 4.
Thank you very much, Aisha. I turn to Councillor Ronnie de Burgh, Portfolio Holder for Corporate Governance, Finance Resources, to move the recommendation and provide any further introduction to the paper.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Aisha. Chairman, as Aisha says, the Constitution requires that any individual debts larger than £2,500 deemed to be uncollectible comes to Cabinet for approval to be written off. In pursuit of that outcome, this paper seeks approval for the recommendations at 2.1 and 2.2. At 2.2, we are asked to approve the write-off of 14 individual debts from across each measurement area, council tax, rents, NNDR and sundry, totaling £54,204.19. This amount represents about 12% of the council's average annual write-off, although this year the total write-offs are somewhat lower than the average. Members, I'm comfortable recommending that Cabinet support the recommended action. It's irrecoverable, mostly covered by DROs, that's debt relief orders, or IVAs, individual voluntary arrangements. So not much else that we can do in the circumstances. And it's considered good business practice to remove it from the books. Anyway, debt on the books is not a big help. Further, at 2.1, we're asked to note the action taken to recover outstanding debt. Indeed, item 4 through to 4.8 of the paper sets out to reassure us of the efforts that have been made to retrieve it, and highlights how our collection performance overall has improved against previous years. Chairman, colleagues, there can be little doubt that our officers and their teams are doing everything possible within the scope of the powers provided by the Corporate Debt and Income Maximisation Policy, which was approved by Council in 2019, to bring in outstanding debt. However, we're very mindful of the additional pressures that the COVID pandemic has imposed on the community, and very much aware of the Council's social responsibilities in respect of this. Chairman, none of us seeks to fall into debt, least of all those unfortunate enough to do so, but I'm comfortable with this report and move that the recommendations at 2.1 and 2.2 of the paper be adopted. I need someone to second it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronnie. I'm very happy to second 2.1, 2.2 on the paper. I've got nothing to add. You said it all. It was a good introduction and report. So thank you, Councillor de Burgh. Members, I look to you to have you anything to say at all. No one has. So we move to the paper. Those in favour of supporting 2.1, 2.2 as Bonnie's proposal, raise their hands, please. Councillor Brown, Councillor Freer, Councillor Graham, Councillor de Burgh, Councillor Higgins and myself. That's unanimous. Can that be confirmed by Democratic Services, please? Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of today's Cabinet. Thank you to all who have listened to us on YouTube, and just as importantly, thank you to all the members of staff and Councillor Bindloss, who's turned up in person to watch the Cabinet. So thank you very much, and have a safe evening. Bye.